Good morning. Welcome once more to my Norma Cowie Sunday Thought Talk. This is being live streamed on both YouTube and my professional Facebook page, Norma Cowie, Psychic Life Consultant. Twice this week, I was reminded about flexibility. It was very interesting. One of the reasons I got into flexibility again was because I was proofreading a book I wrote many, many years ago and published in '93 called Secrets for Living Happily. And at one of the end chapters, it talks about the two important responses for happiness is acceptance and flexibility. Acceptance, I know I've talked about before because I find that incredibly important. Second one, flexibility, I don't believe I've even touched on for a long, long time. I just want to read a little bit of this from the book. Flexibility is another attitude you will learn. The need is to let go of preconceived ideas. So often you will restrict yourself from achieving what you want because you will not have the flexibility to move back a step or to sidestep in order to get your goals. In your mind, you will have to be done this way and only this way. And when you hear people say something similar to this, I always say to them, who says? I find that we have bought into how someone else thinks this is the way things should be. When you trust yourself by accepting and listening to yourself, you will be flexible. By being flexible, you can achieve anything you want. And it goes on also from there. I also then in Facebook, up came 5 years ago, I had posted a comment regarding flexibility, again from a client, and I said it reminded me about flexibility. So what do we really need to have? One is flexibility in our thinking. We can get locked in to listening to people. These days, mainstream media is often quoted as having a certain framework of thinking where many other people don't think that way. But if you say anything about a different way, then on YouTube, and you're canceled, you're put off, called that you're a conspiracy theorist. When in fact, you may just be contemplating a different way of looking things. And so we don't have any conversation about different ideas or different concepts. It's as though we have to accept a certain ideal or a certain way. That doesn't have flexibility at all. But we also need to be flexible in how we respond to things. I took a workshop many, many years ago that cost me quite a bit of money to take, actually, learning about communication, because I felt I needed to have a more rounded or broader aspect of communicating. And I learned a statement that I found was really very important, which was the preface of a conversation, which is, which it's gone out of my head right at the moment. It's crazy because I use it. I try and use it a lot. And I say try because sometimes I forget to use it. But the comment which I've now brought back is, are you aware? Are you aware that people have different ideas? Are you aware that we can have different concepts? Are we aware to be able to do things? And the reason I really like that particular comment to preface things is that it's not defensive. It's just asking, are you aware? Now, so we also need to be more flexible sometimes in how we respond, because very often someone will say something that triggers us. Notice my hand went up, because we will react. We'll become defensive. And when we become defensive, we usually find that's because we are insecure. We're really not sure of our ground. And even though we may think we are, this is our principle, this is what we believe, that the ground underneath can be very unsure. And so, it's much easier if we are confident in who we are and allow ourselves some flexibility to consider other ideas that are different than ours, things to open and broaden our minds, to broaden our awareness of the world that we're in and what is occurring and what is happening. And the other thing that I find that I personally often need to be flexible about is expectations. What is my expectation of the outcome? I learned actually to have goals, yes, but not to have so much an expectation, because an expectation is really one thing that often creates disappointment for us, according to me. It's one of my things that I have learned over the years. When we have an expectation that is not based in reality. So it is far better for me, from my perspective, is to have a goal and then work from the reality you're in towards the goal. But if you're in your life and you have this expectation, oh, this is going to happen, or that's going to happen, very often that expectation crashes into your reality, and then you feel, oh my goodness, what am I going to do about that? Like here we are, disappointed and not sure where to go. So it's really about knowing how to work with your goals and how to work with life as it is, and realizing that sometimes we have to let go of our main concepts or ideas and be flexible and about how we want to approach them and how we want to work with them and how we want to do with them. Right now, there's many ideas out there that are not really being expressed at all in mainstream media. And consequently, what happens for a lot of people, it becomes very frustrating. So the key is looking for alternatives to find where you're going to get information that will maybe not exactly support what you think or feel, but gives you a more rounded ideal. That's been our democratic way. That's the way we have lived most of my life, and I'm getting up there now. So it's a very interesting time period, a time period for us to be flexible so that we can proceed ahead and create the results that we want. Because rigidity often creates harmfulness, dissension. How many arguments have you got into because you took a framework and rather than debate the concept, get into a defensive combat? So I really want you to think about where you may need to be flexible in relation to your life. Because if you have some goals and you're not really sure how they're going to work or what they're going to do, I want you to become aware and know that you can do that. So this week, the whole thing is about flexibility, how to be flexible, what to do, how to do it. And yeah, enjoy, mainly enjoy, have fun, enjoy what's going on there. Spring is beginning to sprung. Tomorrow is March the 1st. We've had some sunshine, and how different we feel when the sun is shining. So there again is a little bit of flexibility to realize the sun is always shining, but at the same point, it's nice when the clouds are gone and it's shining through. And actually, I had a walk the other day and was listening to little birds singing and thought, spring is coming. Spring always heralds newness and fresh and growth. And so we can enjoy that as well. Thank you for listening. Thank you for subscribing and liking and comments. I really, really appreciate it. And if you want to get hold of me through my website, normacowie.com, you can create in the comments and ask what you'd like to hear talked about, etc. And until Wednesday, when I'll be back again, thank you. Thank you for watching. Blessings to all.